Welcome everyone to this evening's presentation. Before we begin, I just wanted to throw up a disturbing content warning at the beginning of this video. Tonight's subject is an extremely popular one, but I won't assume everyone who has clicked on this video has seen the Walten Files, and there will be some disturbing and gruesome imagery throughout this video. When I began this channel back in January, I knew that the Walten Files would be a topic that I would cover, and since this series has pretty much conquered the YouTube horror scene during this summer, it has constantly been squirming in the back of my mind to make. I made a Walten Files short review last month, expressing my thoughts on this series without diving into the material in my preferred style of videos, mostly because I didn't realize how long this edit would take me, and just how much there was to this series in my initial watch through. So I set the video on my upload schedule as my 1000 subscriber special, thinking that it would give me another couple months of time to get it all organized. Again, I was happily surprised as this channel has been growing faster than I ever thought it could, and that is thanks to all of you, the viewers. But I'll cut the formalities for the end of the video, so be sure to stick around to the end. And let's begin tonight's investigation into a series that has scared the entire platform of YouTube. The Walten Files is an analog horror series created by the channel Martin Walls. Much like other series of the genre, it combines elements like training videos, live action, old programs, and a very non-linear plot to craft a series of videos that sucks the viewer into a nightmare-induced world that will keep anyone up at night. Taking place between the 1970s and the 1990s, this series follows the Bunny Smiles Corporation and us, the viewer, on a journey back in time to face off against a company that was once designed to bring joy to children, and instead turned into a bloody, corpse-riddled melodrama about revenge, survival, guilt, and PTSD. With that being said, I'll be honest to all of you, this series is hard to watch. And I didn't use clickbait in the title of this video. The Walten Files is above all else a display of art, and the type of art you are about to witness with me has created its own unique subgenre on YouTube that even I have attempted in the opening of some of my videos. And I think that is a good enough place to start this investigation. With an hour and 28 minutes worth of content to look at, I would suggest grabbing some popcorn or a blanket because we're going to be here for a while. But before we begin, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more horror content. With all that out of the way, turn off the lights and turn up the volume as we open up the Walten Files. Our first video is titled Company Introductory Tape and begins by bringing up the logo for a restaurant called Bond's Burgers. Already we can tell that this is an older tape by the way the music is layered in the background and the eventual narration we soon hear. We then get a subtitle at the top of the screen revealing that this tape was produced by two companies called Cyberfun Tech and Bunny Smiles Inc. in the year 1974.
Hi, and welcome to the introductory tape to your new job at Bunny Smiles Incorporated. You have applied to a job in technical support and maintenance. What does this job particularly mean? It means that you, amongst other employees, are the one who will take care of creating a magical and fun experience for Bond's Burgers.
So this is an employee training tape for this Bunny Smiles Incorporation, which uses animatronic characters to entertain children at the restaurant, and we, or whoever is watching this tape, is being introduced to the Bunny Smiles family, which has quite the unsettling cast of characters we soon meet. We get a small performance of the songs that the animatronics sing while on stage.
The sun has got his hat on and he's coming out today.
How much is that dog in the window? The one with the waggly tail. How much is that dog in the window? I do hope that dog is for sale.
How much is that dog in the window? The one with the waggly tail. How much is that dog in the window? I do hope that dog is for sale.
Old MacDonald had a farm,
E-I-E-I-O,
and on that farm he had some pigs.
E-I-E-I-O.
The video gives us the names of the animatronic band called the Showstoppers, which are called Bon, Shaw, Boozoo, and Banny. And I'll try my best to refer to these characters by those names. Our video explains the types of tasks we'll be doing on the job, which are always the same at every animatronic restaurant. We are then introduced to our first two human characters and the owners of the Bunny Smiles company, Jack Walton and Felix Kraken. If you think this photo of what is supposed to be real-life people looks horribly photoshopped, then you aren't blind. This is a style this series uses a lot. Even real-life people aren't able to escape the terrifying edits that make them look uncanny.
You have a wonderful experience while working with us. That being said, with the Bon's Burgers restaurant getting opened in a few weeks, we're looking forward to achieving this dream with you.
So our video then plays a presentation slide about a storage facility owned by the Cyberfun tech company from before. The slide reads, Save, Restore, Secure. The BSI storage facility, also known as K9, is a company project to storage all valuable items from the closed for good Bon's Burgers restaurant. Given the situations about the incidents inside the 1974 Bon's Burgers location, any type of props, animatronics, and arcade machines will be carefully moved, inspected, and secured inside a bunker located deep down in St. Juana's forest for good. A facility caretaker will take care of securing the facility and keeping it safe and working properly. So this is already super weird. Didn't we just watch the company video for the just opened Bon's Burgers location from 1974? If that's the case, then we must be watching a completely different tape right now, or tapes from all over the story's timeline are being stitched together by someone. Regardless, we aren't in 1974 anymore. We must be further in the future because some incident has closed Bon's Burgers and put the animatronics into storage. And who is this facility caretaker? We don't have time to wonder as our video speeds right along without us.
You finally start to remember. That's all there. They will be back for you soon. Sophie.
Our video then turns into a cartoon from the Bunny Smiles company from 1979, which is 5 years after the Bon's Burgers restaurant shuts down. We get a new narrator and follow a cartoon version of the animatronic frontman Bon. Let's take a look.
It's a brand new day in Little Bon's neighborhood, and a really special one for sure. Little Bon has been waiting all day for his friends to arrive. He is planning to have a sleepover with them. He has everything set up for the perfect movie night with his friends. For this sleepover, he invited Shah, Boozoo, and Billy. Let's check again in case we don't forget any guests. Bon invited Shah, Boozoo, and oh, that must be them. Now that everyone has arrived, I suppose it's time for the movie night to begin. Bon spent all his money on a really funny movie, which he hopes all of his friends will enjoy and will laugh with Little Bon. And friends watched the movie. I guess we can say they had a blast of a time.
Already we are getting a little meta in this series, as the Showstoppers are watching VHS tapes that are cursed, while in a cursed VHS tape themselves. This is a kid's cartoon, and it would be a little weird for the Showstoppers' owner, a grown man, to come to their movie night. But why is Jack on the VHS tape the cartoons are watching? And why did their movie say something like, "Let me out of here"? Our video continues but becomes more distorted as the showstoppers go to sleep. Let's go back a second. So Bond wakes up and meets Jack Walton in the kitchen of his or hers home when he can be heard crying. Then Bond picks up a lighter, and when lit, Bond changes to a new character that hasn't been introduced, a female worker named Sophie, and standing behind her, a ruined Bond animatronic. All of this was definitely not supposed to be in the cartoon, but maybe we can try to figure out who this new character is by pushing forward. After this scare, a new tape is played, and it's a real-life camera footage of someone driving along a road. If you were paying attention to the bottom left-hand screen, you would have seen a recording date pop up saying that this footage was captured in 1982. So now we are even farther into the future, and it's been 8 years since Bond's Burgers closed.
The old Bunny Smiles facility. I'm recording this because the company requires some type of archives for the work history, something like that. I honestly have no clue because I started working here. Actually, I'm going there right now. But they gave me this weird location. There's somewhere in a forest, I think, to work at, and I've been driving for 20 minutes. And I can't find the place.
So we are following the new caretaker of the storage facility on his first day on the job. He tells us that the storage units were left abandoned 4 years prior in the middle of the woods, and he's going in to get the place and the animatronics into working order.
Find the place. I made it to the location, I think. This has gotta be it. Anyway, so Chris told me this place hasn't been working since about 78, 79, somewhere around then, and that was 4 years ago, I think. So chances are it's going to smell horrendous.
So, I found this, and I think this is good news for reloading products for the company. Although it's always thinking about now, and most definitely has seen better days. But, fortunately, diagnostic control is right here, so we can go over there and see how to do the way. Now, let's check out the head of the mouth. And we'll begin with the head. Let's begin with the arm. Let's check the left arm. Yeah, the left arm. The left arm. Oh! What was that thing?
So yeah, this is what I meant when I said I wanted to give you all a warning, because this series goes really dark really fast in most of these tapes. But let's try to put this all together before pushing on. We learn the identity of our new storage facilitator, named Brian Stells, who was attacked by the Bond animatronic while working on it. When it was done, it left Brian literally torn to pieces before we can get what we can assume is his last words, which are that he can't feel anything, and that Bond thought Brian was an unnamed her. And based on what the rest of the video showed us, there is only one girl character so far, another employee named Sophie, who was showed with the Bond animatronic ready to strike. So who is Sophie, and what does this bugged out or possibly possessed animatronic want with her? Regardless, Brian is dead, and our first collection of tapes finally ends with a close-up of his badge. Our next video is titled Relocate Project, which was briefly mentioned by Brian Stells right before he died. So maybe Bunny Smiles is moving the animatronics to a new restaurant or something in order to make money with them. Anyway, our video starts with the closed captions telling us that this first tape was produced in 1978, so it would have been made before the Bond Bunny cartoon, but 4 years after the unknown incident at Bond's Burgers.
Hello, BSI members and employees, and welcome to the tape that will change the future of the Bond's Burgers brand and the Bunny Smiles company for the better. That's right, after 4 long years of legal paperwork, we finally decided to use our backup plan, which we created after the tragic closure of Bond's Burgers back on July 20th, 1974. Ladies and gentlemen, we now present to you the Relocate Project. But before we go into details, we want to greet all the new Bunny Smiles employees.
With the company greeting out of the way,
Let's start analyzing the Relocate Project by checking what has happened ever since the closure of Bond's 4 years ago. As many of you might have known from previous tapes, our beloved entertainers were safely secured in St. Juana's storage facility some months after the restaurant's closure. Later on, a good amount of business opportunities appeared, such as books, merch, animated movies, we even got a TV show. That's when Felix Kranken had the brilliant idea of restore and reprogram the robots of Bond's Burgers with the purpose of relocating them in a new restaurant that would be opened in a not-so-distant future. A pretty smart plan, right? Making enough money to eventually reopen the Bond's Burgers restaurant is no doubt a brilliant idea. So let's give it up for Felix Kranken, a man with not only a giant brain, but also a giant heart.
So whatever happened in 1974, it involved Jack Walten, as he isn't even mentioned in the video, except for his appearance at random intervals. Whatever this event was, it basically closed the company for 4 years to deal with lawsuits. Then it was all up to Felix, the founder of the company, to come up with the Relocate Project to save the entire corporation. Just in this company PSA, we learned the storage facility was just meant to store the animatronics until a new Bond's Burgers opened in 1982, which was the same year Brian Stells was hired to go fix the robots. But remember how Brian had to drive all the way into the woods on a dirt road to get to the facility? What if Brian wasn't hired by Felix in the Bunny Smiles company? After all, we did see a pixelated Jack Walton drive away a similar truck of animatronics. Maybe Jack took some of his creations with him and hid them in the woods, and lied to a facilitator to get him out into the woods. But this first 2 minutes really helps make it clear what Bunny Smiles did after the events of 1974. Our video then cuts to a new tape immediately created after the company PSA called the reprogramming phase. And according to the video's closed captions, this tape was produced just a couple months after the first one in 1978.
Find a way out of the cage, but it's unsuccessful. The rabbit keeps trying to find a way out, or at least catch the owner's attention. The mighty rabbit must get out. The mighty rabbit needs to 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 get out. The rabbit is starving. 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 Is starving. Is starving. Is starving. Is starving. Is starving. Is.
Our next tape shown to us was created again in 1978, but only a couple days after the PSA was made the same month, and is another technical support video.
Welcome to Technical Support. Today we will focus on the area tour and orientation inside K9, the Bunny Smiles storage facility. We recommend all facility caretakers to have all needed equipment in hand and to always wear the Bunny Smiles uniform. But most importantly, all of you must always, under any circumstance, use your BSI ID card. Once you have all the necessary equipment at hand, we are ready to go.
Let's pause for 1 second and get our bearings. So this video was created right after the relocation project was announced. So this would have been 4 years after the showstopper robots were put away until the 1982 reopening. Our video shows us all the things we should bring with us in a backpack, but I guess someone else is going with us.
I'm very excited and nervous to start working here. But let's stop and think. Do you have all the necessary items for your job tasks? I thought so. Let's put on a nice backpack and start packing some items. Let's check the items you will require for your job at K9. Lantern? Check. Snacks? Check. Key? Check. Camera? Check. Wow, it's pretty dark here. You should turn on the light. Turn on the light. Turn on the light. Turn on the... It's It's important to keep track of which rooms you enter. This place can be really tricky and you could get lost very easily. This is the resting room. In this room, you can sit down, rest, talk with coworkers, you name it. Remember to always keep this room as clean and organized as possible. A clean environment helps to get tasks done faster. A dirty environment only makes your job harder to get done. Alright, this is the main hall of the place. In front of you, you will find 3 doors. These are storage areas. The first door is used to save any kind of cleaning items and supplies. The second door is used to save a kind of prizes and merch that was available in a Bond's Burgers restaurant. The third door is used to hide. Welcome to the basement.
Let's pause again and figure out what Shaw the sheep just told us. And remember, we are being represented as Bond, but if we remember from our first video when the cartoon Bond flipped on the lighter, it was actually our mysterious Sophie character who was dressed up exactly like a worker from Bunny Smiles. So what did Shaw just say to our character?
Welcome to the basement.
Rosemary would go to the restaurant every night hoping that his beloved husband would reappear after being missing for weeks, but no response until one day she heard a voice saying, "I know where she is, Rosie," coming from the backstage.
Right now, you are in the main storage area. As you can see, this is the room where we storage more important items such as stages, tables, arcade machines, and birthday props. Now, please follow me to the next door.
In the Bond's Burgers restaurant, remember to avoid touching or shining lights at our robots unless you are a facility technician. Now let's move on to the next room.
How odd, I remember we visited this room already.
Sophie, where am I?
Listen.
By the time the lady entered the backstage as the voice told her to, missing husband wasn't there. Instead, she found a rat.
Rose broken. Will fix you. You will beautiful. You will beautiful. You will beautiful.
When she woke up, she looked beautiful. But on the inside,
Every single part of her body was bleeding out.
Alright, so this tape definitely revealed some new dynamics to these characters. First, we learned that Sophie is definitely a relevant character to Jack and Felix. We've also met an adult woman who may have been the mother or someone else close to the company. Anyway, this woman was lured into the back room by someone before Bond the Bunny killed and dismembered her, putting the woman's remains in the Shaw animatronic. But who was in the Bond Bunny suit? And who lured the woman into that back room? Was this a flashback to the incident in 1974? Or is this a new crime taking place in the 1978 storage facility? Let's keep going. Our next tape tells us we are seeing footage taken by 3 technicians who entered the storage facility to work on the robots. It shows us our 3 employees named Hillary B, Ashley P, and Kevin W right before they entered the storage facility to work on the robots, which after seeing what would happen to Brian in another 4 years, it can't be good.
Cases occurred around the area.
Damn.
Huh. Yeah. And there were complaints from people that lived near the restaurant about the place playing music during midnight, like 2 or 3 in the morning, along with the lights on, which was weird, because back then, the company didn't really worry about hiring night guards. But yeah, the place closed after people reported hearing the screams of an adult woman inside of the restaurant.
Jeez.
So yeah. Some hours after that specific case was reported, residents decided to close the stores, probably because authorities needed to check the place or something. What's weird about this is that the last day Bonds was open, they only let like 1 or 2 families in. And they mentioned later that the animatronics, like the entertainers, were completely absent and the curtains closed.
Well, that's odd.
Fuck. This forest reminds me of that movie, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre? I think.
So one of the technicians for the storage facility heard rumors of why Bond's Burgers shut its doors 4 years ago. It was because of an incident involving an adult woman screaming in the middle of the night, which is oddly close to what we've been shown in the previous tapes. A woman was murdered in Bond's Burgers, and if she was murdered at nighttime and the place didn't have night security, she must have been more than a customer. We know Sophie had a connection to the Bond's Burgers owners, and that Sophie was present at the victim's murder. So could our mysterious victim be another member of one of the 2 founding families? Let's follow our workers as they enter the storage facility.
If I remember where this key leads to. I'm sure whatever this key hides could save the project. I'll show this footage to you guys once you wake up. I know you guys told me not to wander around, but I genuinely think this small key could be a lifesaver. It took me a while, but I realized the key leads to this door, labeled back doors. It seems like a small area, so I'll just go take a little peek, see if I can find anything interesting, and then go back. Simple. This is bigger than I thought. I don't think I have enough time, so I'll just try and peek around doors and see what's inside. There are a ton of empty rooms with boring stuff. I came across this door, which was open. Kinda weird. Anyway, this room seems to have some spare endo pieces, and from the looks of it, some unused animatronics, I guess? I won't go into detail about what I find, since I'm in a rush, of course, and this room number 26 or 27, I think. As you can see here, there are some spare heads. Nothing I'm interested in, to be honest. Well, this is bizarre. I can't really tell if this buddy is a robot or a puppet, but why is it hanging on the wall? This is really weird. This is the last door. I've never seen this clown thing before. It's really, there's absolutely no way I'm getting close to that thing. I'll probably wait till you guys see this video and come down here with me so we can take a close. I found this. I'm pretty sure that clown thing had a cassette player installed. So I guess I'll have to be brave and try and see what this whole thing is. I don't really know why this dude has a cassette player thing installed. But my guess is that it's used for birthday parties, like, play a customized tape or something? I don't know. But we're about to find out.
Jack, Susan, Charles, Rosemary, Sophie. the funny movie clown. Do I see you, so? It's not the remember. She lined those ups. She lost it. Now.
Alright, so like most of the endings of these tapes, we were just dropped with a lot of info, even in the nightmarish chaos being thrown at us. We'll go ahead and start with the recording actually found on the clown robot. After its birthday song ends, the recording of a man's voice reads out a list of names. Jack, Susan, Charles, Rosemary, Sophie. We can't say for sure, but I'm willing to bet these names match up to the characters we've met before. Jack is Jack Walten, our creepy founder who disappeared after the events of 1974. And Sophie, the mysterious girl who has ties to Jack's family and may have been involved with the 1974 incident herself. We've also been given a handful of characters on screen. Let's also take a look at some of this backwards audio and the flashing text on the screen. First, we were given backwards audio, which edited sounds like this.
Hello, I'm Billy, the funny movie clown. Do I see you, so? It's not the remember. She lined those ups. She lost it. Now. The blind fortune teller spoke with knowledge, but never with content. Oh, please, no.
Second, we got a flash of text telling us the aftermath of this video. Ashley, our technician, was killed in the storage facility and left behind by her friends because they had thought she had left early that morning. Shortly after the relocate project failed, the facility was shut down and probably left abandoned. Our third video is titled Bunny Farms and is the longest of the 3 episodes so far. And hold on to your seats because this video begins with a mental flashbang of everything we have seen in this series so far.
Consider living activity inside a local form. Important, I guess.
And finally introducing us to Sophie Walten, the daughter of Jack, and this episode's main character and the POV for most of it. We are told that Sophie was born in 1960 and is currently 22 years old, placing the current events of what we'll probably see in the year of 1982, which was supposed to be the opening of the new restaurant. So Sophie has been through everything the Bunny Smiles company has done, and was there when the woman disappeared in 1974, when she would have been 14. Let's keep moving. We are also introduced to a girl named Jenny Latterson, before being told that all the footage we are going to see was recorded in 1982. We are given a retro arcade opening of the Bunny Smiles logo, and it shouldn't be a mystery of what it's supposed to be. It seems that Bunny Smiles and Cyberfun Tech is moving into the video game industry. When the Bunny Farm game loads, we are introduced to Sophie and Jenny, 2 friends in the basement of some building playing the new arcade console created by her father's company.
Yeah, this is the game I wanted to show you, Sophie.
Oh, huh. Nice.
Yeah, I played it for a while. Thought you would enjoy it.
Thanks.
Also, they installed the machine in the basement of the building not so long ago, so please try to be careful. The janitor told me these are hella expensive. And delicate, too.
Oh, I see.
So, do I start the game?
Yeah, let's go.
Right, so you gotta choose a name now.
I see your name over there.
Yeah, but the idea is that you play the game from scratch.
I see. Put my name over here then. So, fuck. Shit, I can't go back.
Dumbass. Huh.
All right, gang. Gather around.
What is it, Mr. B?
Yeah, what is it, Bob?
Oh, don't tell me.
Eat the hippo. You know, something I like about the game is the artwork. I don't know why, but there's something about it that seems, really familiar to me.
Huh.
However, Sophie seemed unaware that the game even existed until Ginny showed it to her. So yeah, a lot of this video is cutaways with dialogue from the video game, so as much as I would like to do a play-by-play of every frame, we're going to have to jump around this hour-long video. But don't worry, I will keep you updated with every important part of this long video, and be sure to watch it for yourself, because it isn't easy to do all these animations for an hour long. Not too long after, we get this dialogue from Sophie to Ginny, which may clue us in more about Sophie and her background.
Clarify, it was a beta test when we turned on the machine.
Yeah, when BSI installed these machines, they clarified that as well, but here's the thing. These glitches are very creepy, if I'm totally honest. That's why I wanted to show you this in the first place. I know you're into that
BSI?
kind of... Bunny Smiles Incorporated.
Have I heard that name before?
I mean, that company has been pretty relevant these past few weeks. Didn't you hear?
What happened?
Some weird rumors and shit. Apparently there was this one employee that drove to some forest a few days ago. Not too far away from here, actually. He hasn't been seen around ever since he drove to that place.
Really?
Yeah. The word got out quickly. Some family members say it was his first day.
Well, what's his name?
Brian, I think?
Well, I hope he's doing alright.
Same. Well, who knows? Maybe he's okay.
I mean, it's been a while since he was last seen, right? Brighton's not that big of a town anyways. They would have found him by now.
Reminds me of this other girl.
There's more?
This young employee named Ashley. Young adult. Very pretty. She became some sort of urban legend around here.
Why?
People say she died inside of some old bunker from the company. Her body was never found. Most say she was privately buried. Others say she's still inside that place.
Sounds like a made-up story to get little kids away from that forest. And we should probably just continue with the game.
Yeah, who wants to hear about this kind of shit while playing some little child's game, right? You good, Sophie?
Oh, yeah, I was just thinking about, anyways, so do I have to, like...
So Sophie doesn't know anything about the events we have seen in the company's tapes. She is like us, hearing the story of Ashley and Brian from Ginny for the first time. They sound unreal, but according to Ginny, these aren't just dreamlike events shown to us. Ashley and Brian were real people in this town of Brighton, and their disappearance has led to local legends about BSI and the storage facility in the forest. BSI is having real consequences on this local town. Ginny then leaves Sophie to go work on an essay, and Sophie continues to play the game by herself.
Apples.
I like apples too. I like the clown one.
Alrighty, press this button.
She enters a level led by the clown character that has killed Ashley in our last video. And the clown tells Sophie that she has to collect party hats from the basement.
On with the rest of the game? Yeah, everything's perfect. supposed to solve this party, but most of the stuff I need is located in the ridiculously complex puzzles. Say, could you help me out to solve the puzzles? Alright, first we need to get the party hats. They should be in the big... Alright, good track. Now we need...
About this. Is that clear even there?
Do I have to... Oh, I see.
When she wins the game of tic-tac-toe, this happens.
There we go. What's that? Jenny? Restart the level. Christ. Never mind.
Apparently it was enough to scare Sophie away because we are told that the next footage was recorded the day after, and Ginny and Sophie are playing the game where Sophie left off.
Alright, let's go. Those are pigs.
Whoa! Pretty fun place!
Why, hello there.
Whoa! Pretty horse girl!
I'm supposing you two are here to help me feed the pigs, right?
Yes, you speak my love pigs. I want to feed them and take care of them and play with them and dance with them and laugh with them and play with them.
All right. I need you two to pay attention to what I say and follow the instructions I give you. Okay, so, first of all, do not open the cages unless I tell you to.
Wouldn't it be funny if I opened the cage? I think it would be really funny. I think it would be really, really funny. Yeah, I think I'm going to open the cage now. Yeah.
Oh no, Benny! What have you done? All the pigs have escaped to the hippo house.
Benny, you dumb bunny.
I'm sorry. I was just trying to help.
It looks like they each entered a different door. We'll have to find keys for each door.
In the game, Sophie must round up pigs that were released in the farmer's house. While playing the game, this happens, which freaks Sophie out.
All occurred when I interact with the characters. Could it have something to do with them? I've also noticed that I talk to myself a lot.
BSI Technical Support Audio Log Number 3, June 30th, 1974. Jeremy's birthday party finished an hour ago. I decided to stay and help the employees clean the place. This week has been strange. especially because of the opening. I find it weird that they opened the place even though Mr. Walten disappeared a few weeks ago. I hope he's doing alright. Rosemary came in today and asked if we'd seen him around. I'm pretty worried about it. Felix seems very concerned and worried too. Anyway, the birthday party, yes. Everything went according to plan. This was the first birthday party in the restaurant, and I feel it turned out pretty well. I noticed a few irregularities in the stage and in the audio animatronics. As the engineer and the person who basically built the animatronics to begin with, it was easier to notice these, especially in Bon. Something felt off. The limbs weren't moving properly. They looked stiff and odd, mainly in his right arm. It took a few more minutes to take him to the backstage, just to make sure everything's okay. I'm the only one left. Chris left some hours ago, and Felix didn't even show up. I'll leave and close the restaurant when I'm finished. I'm sure it's not going to take long.
Remember the name Susan from before, when the clown played the audio tape for Ashley? We can confirm that Susan was related to Jack, Sophie, and the rest of the BSI family at the time. This was a recording from the day before Susan was murdered, and there are already some red flags with the family around her. Neither of the two founders of BSI showed up for the company's first birthday party. Felix didn't come in to work, and Jack was missing. But that's not the terrifying part. This isn't like other series we have watched. Our victims aren't just ghosts haunting some of the robots. Whoever is killing them is literally molding their corpses into the shape of the suits.
But that was very confusing and scary, but it felt like I was being told a story or a certain event. I mean, clearly I was, but, yeah. Thing is, the pills have been making me forget a lot of stuff from my teenage years and my childhood, and, like, I started taking them for a reason, but I really don't want to think about it.
So that's why Sophie doesn't remember anything about BSI. Something traumatic happened to her when she was a teenager, and now she is taking medication that is making her forget. But this arcade game, and maybe even some help from ghosts or spirits, are trying to scare her awake. After all, doesn't a terrifying nightmare wake anyone up from their sleep? We can't stick around too long on that, as the arcade game glitches out again, revealing some letters written about Felix. Linda Thompson, who looks like Felix Kranken's ex-wife, written way back in 1964. Most of it's blackened out, but what we can read says that Felix was acting very strange, and that Linda was becoming worried about his state of mind. There is this little line that says Felix came home at 4 a.m., which could just be nothing. Then we get this letter written by Linda saying that she had moved in with Felix and had made him much happier, and that Felix and Jack were working on the restaurant idea, which would later become Bond's Burgers. Most importantly, we learned that Jack in 1965 had a wife named Rose and 3 kids, one named Molly. And we also learned that Jack and Felix planned to partner with an outside company called Cyberfun Tech. The next letter by Linda was written in Christmas in 1970, and it reveals that Felix was also in some sort of mood due to some incident that he can't get over, according to Linda. And right after, we get another letter by Felix's wife in 1973, saying that Felix is drinking heavily in the company warehouse in his free time. In 1974, the same year of this tragic incident, Linda apparently had enough and left Felix because of the alcoholism, according to this letter. This goes on to mention that Felix was doing a favor for Jack involving a social party the same day that Linda left, which is a very important fact we need to remember for later. See what I meant in this video's introduction that this turns into a big cut. See what I meant in this video's introduction that this turns into a large drama? This story is much longer than just between 1974 and 1982. These are full family histories that are involved with the nightmares that have traumatized Sophie in the end. Sophie continues to play the game and eventually meets the character named Buzu when this quick visual happens.
Party, right? Wonderful. You see, I need someone to help me set up the games for the party. Say, why don't you help me set up the games? What do you think? Fantastic! Well, what are we waiting for? Let's get started. It'll be lots of fun.
What? Again, I feel like this could be related to a person trying to tell the player something, maybe even a ghost, because this game really makes it seem like the people shown on screen died.
Sophie plays the memorizing game with Buzu until this happens.
You spotted a difference. Great job. You spotted a difference. So let's move on to the next image. Look at this image. You spotted a difference. Great job. You spotted a difference. Great job. No, that's not the difference. Try again, would you? You spotted a difference. Great job. You... No, that's not the difference. That's not the difference.
Congratulations! You completed my game. Now, time for the prizes. 714 missing 0714 missing 0714 missing 0714 missing 07.
So, who is this new character? Felix wears glasses, and Jack has a, well, a distinct look. So this must be someone related to Bond's Burgers, or maybe the Waltons themselves. But after looking at the second image, I'm betting that this is going to be another victim. Imagine what it's like for Sophie. These aren't the faces of happy people who once worked with her family at Bond's Burgers. Now, after years of having memories taken away, it would be difficult to see these faces for the first time, in a long time, without panicking.
And this game really tries to make it seem like these people died. Not in very pleasant ways either. I really don't want to think about it anymore, but Jesus. I genuinely don't know if digging deeper into this is the best decision, but curiosity is killing me right now.
Sophie then continues playing until she meets the Shaw character, and they play hide and seek. But again, the game just can't end in a normal way, and we get this.
What about hide and seek?
Oh, I love that game. I'll hide. Great, this is gonna be fun. You found me. That was nice. I had so much fun playing with you. How about you hide now?
Am I still beautiful to you? Sophie.
I know you.
Found you.
one and come all. Welcome to my magic fountain of memories. Step right up and enter your most repressed experiences and get ready to be amazed by my magic. Let's take a small trip down memory lane, shall we? Tell me, what is it you would like to remember?
But after all of that, we are here in probably the most important part of this entire video. There's nothing I can say that won't take the weight out of this conversation you are about to hear.
Hold on. I'm so glad you're here to help me clean the colonnades. All that's left to do is just...
Hello? Felix.
Jack, what is it? Listen, I was wondering if you could do me and Rose a small favor tonight. I don't know, Jack. Today's been... It's about, Ed and Molly. They have a school event tonight. A school party, and they have no one to pick them up. I need to stay at the workshop to finish the paperwork, and Rose is, taking Sophie to the dentist. We were wondering if you could pick them up for the event and take them home later. Tonight? Yeah, if it's possible, of course. Sure, I can do that. Really? Yeah, sure. Oh, thanks a lot, man. You're lifesaver, Felix. It's nothing. Alright, so I'll pick them up at 5 and get them home at 9. Rose should be home by then. If she's not, you call me. Got it? Got it.
This game is waking Sophie up. And remember that letter from earlier written by Linda? Jack asked Felix to pick up Jack's 2 older kids named Ed and Molly from their party. But Felix clearly didn't seem eager to help at first. He was drinking heavily at the time after all. But by the time this recording ends, the arcade games just start directly telling Sophie to wake up and remember what the pills made her forget.
I remember this conversation.
Be wary, for this memory seems to be buried deep within your mind. You must find them, Sophie.
Oh my god, I gotta take a deep breath. That was... This just got so much deeper than I thought, and now I think I know what's happening. I recognize these faces, all of them. I know all of them. Ed and Molly.
After their party, the kids find Felix at what I assume is like an adult section where the parents get alcohol, but Felix isn't in the best shape, even though he still decides to drive the kids home when the expected happens.
Drink a lot that day. Watch.
just left till we get home?
Not much. Just kind of lost, I think.
Uncle Felix, were you drinking?
M-Y-Q.
Our teacher says drinking is not
No, I'm just feeling dizzy. It's not that big of a deal, alright?
Number J 531. Flowers 522 4343. I got a zap coming up. Rolling. Go!
I want to go home.
Molly, we're almost there.
Oh, do you think you're driving too fast?
Listen, I'm just trying to get you to home quickly, alright?
Zap coming right now. Angel 10 proceeding.
Look, I'm sorry, I'm not feeling too good right now. I really I just want to lay in the bed and go to sleep.
It's alright. We get that today wasn't the best for you. We understand. Everything is gonna be okay.
Thanks, Molly.
They didn't go home that night. He buried them here. He was too scared. But they found a way out eventually.
So before we go further, let's just recap. So Ed, Molly, and Sophie were all of Jack Walton's kids. Jack was busy at work and couldn't take Ed and Molly to their school party, so he asked Felix to do it. Felix, who can't control himself around liquor, according to his ex-wife's letters, decided to drink and drive, which led to a car accident that killed Ed and Molly. But Felix was afraid of getting arrested and buried the two kids' bodies on the side of the road, which is pretty fucked up considering he was an uncle to them. But Ed and Molly lived on and crawled into the robots Felix and Jack had crafted, causing the events we have later seen. Let's continue on to this phone call.
You have 25 new messages. Felix, pick up the phone. Now, I need you to pick up the phone. It's been 3 hours since I told you to get Ed and Molly home. What happened to my children? If anything happened, Felix, you must tell me. You haven't told me in 3 hours. I need to know what's going on. I'm trying to call you all night. What the hell is wrong with you? I've been trying to contact you all night. I've been calling everyone for you. Just what the hell is wrong with you? 3 hours you didn't call. I asked you to do one simple favor for me. I need to know, where are they? Where did you... But that's not all, is it? There's still something you forgot to remember. They've been waiting for you.
And this is the end of the Bunny Farm video. And after everything we have seen, every clue, every terrifying scare, we can put this timeline of events together. The story of the Walten Files begins in the 1960s between two families, Jack Walten and Felix Kranken. Jack and his family, and Felix with his wife Linda, came up with the idea of Bond's Burgers, a restaurant with robot characters that would entertain kids at birthday parties. Unknown to anyone else but his wife, Felix was an alcoholic, which in the years leading to the opening of the Bond's Burgers restaurant would lead to their separation. In 1972, before Bond's Burgers opened, Jack Walten asked Felix to take his children, Ed and Molly, to their school party. Unfortunately, since it was the 70s, Felix had too much to drink before driving Jack's kids home. On the way back, Felix crashed off the side of the road and killed Ed and Molly, then buried them in the forest so no one could find out. But supernaturally, Ed and Molly could go on to haunt the Bunny Smiles company within the robots. Jack, who is constantly depicted as the most ferocious Bond the Bunny robot, was shown to us snapping at the disappearance of his children. 2 years later, Bond's Burgers would close to the disappearances of two employees named Susan and I think Charles, based on the clown's birthday party recording, both employees of Jack and Felix, by the hands of the Bond the Bunny robot. We saw would also disappear, along with Ashley and Brian, who all perished years later to the hands of the same character. However, Jack Walten had another child, named Sophie, who was present around Felix and Jack all the way until 1974, before she was put on medication to regress her memories. But what was so traumatic that it required her literal memory to be taken away from her? Where is Felix? Is he still running Bunny Smiles since we saw the attempted relocation project? And where is Jack in all this? We saw in the company videos that Jack's name had been scrubbed from its history. Then our first two videos, we saw Jack come around in the backgrounds of events. Surely he's still pulling some strings, since he was one of the 2 founders of the company. In my initial thoughts of the Walten Files, I mentioned how this is only 3 episodes of a 6-episode season, and I would hope this story continues to be wholly unique and original in the way clues are given and the story is delivered to us. It's brutal, gory, and would make any decent person turn it off. But that's where the best stories can be told, especially when us, the audience, feels like we are owed a story after sitting through some of the more nightmarish visuals in these videos. It's a drama at the end of the day, and I'm happy to see that we now have a character to root for as this story goes on. Sophie is responsible for something in 1974, and how she deals with that realization in the future videos will really define her character for us. There are a lot of directions this series can go, and I plan on following this series to the end. And you should too, so after you like this video and subscribe to this channel, be sure to go over to the Martin Walls' channel and do the same to stay up to date. For now, I just wanted to thank all of you, the viewers, for your support in getting 1,000 subscribers. It's a great feeling to know so many are enjoying this content, and I'm going to do my best to keep it coming for years to come. As you can tell, I'm not a social media hound, and that is for a specific reason. So if you want to ask me or suggest something, then the comments are always right down below the video. I'm excited to continue getting better at making these and ready to get started on what comes next. But like I said in the community post, this is where the fun begins. And with that, this has been Pagan Valley, and I wish you all a good evening.